We are going to turn. Yeah, that was my computer. That sounded weird, huh? Recording in progress. Page, well, we're going to review really quickly page 97 because you did that by yourself last week. So turn to page 97 in your grammar book. You guys should already have that one done. We did that we didn't have class last Monday because I did the parent conferences and I got to meet with each one of you and your parents. I missed you too. It was fun to see you on Zoom though. At least I could wave to you and be like, hi. In the middle of the year, every year we do like parent teacher conference, that's okay. So we just connect and let the parents know how the kids are doing in the class and kind of get on the same page with everything. So that's what we did. But you guys worked on this one by yourself. Did you guys get a chance to do it?
Yeah.
Oh, did you just didn't write it down? Okay. We're just going to look at it together really quick because I want to move on to the next lesson too. So this is page 97. We're talking about the who, which clause. I know. I was just going to say that. It's a review because you already use who and which in your writing. So it should be super familiar to you. When do you use who? Do you guys remember when do you use who in a clause?
Whose is it?
Like, what kind of a word are you looking for to put a who clause?
Whose is this?
Yeah, you're on the right track. Is it going to be a thing that you put who next to, or is it a person that you put like a person's name, maybe? So when you use who, you use that clause next to either a character, person, or sometimes even an animal that's acting like a person, right? Like, remember
Like
the
a
little red
possum.
hen?
And opossum.
And opossum, but especially a little red hen. Remember that story too?
Opossum's my favorite.
And she's always like, who will help me make the bread? And on and on and on. So she was talking and baking bread. She was acting like a person. So we would use a who clause next to her character.
Who will you?
How about which? When would we use which?
Which one?
Which one? Yeah, but you're talking about a thing, not a person. Person we use who with, right? But when you're talking about a thing like the computer, which is recording my class, right? Or if you're talking about a place like Tehachapi, which is cold today. So
It's really hot in the summer.
in the summer it does get pretty hot. So
It's flaming boiling. Let's get
maybe not flaming boiling.
got
That would be the
it.
Sahara Desert, right? We learned about that one. That's definitely flaming boiling heat.
If it was 100 degrees in Fahrenheit and in Celsius, it would be like
Hot.
100 and like 30.
Super hot. Look at this next one down right here. It says, what does a who, which clause follow? What kind of a word? Like, is it a verb? Is it a adjective? Is it an adverb? Do you remember when you use who, which, what kind of a word does it follow usually?
Whose is it?
You're on the right track. I can tell you're thinking about that. It's a noun, right? So a noun, person, what else is a noun?
Place.
Thing. There you go. Good. So a word like that is when you put a who, which clause. That's when that comes after that. Now look down at the next part right here where it says the soldier. The soldier lost his cloak. And then it says the soldier was upset. Can anybody think of a way we can put those two together with who or which? Hold on. We see Ainsley. Go ahead.
The soldier who lost his cloak was upset.
Yes, good. Give me 5. Did you have another one, Juliana?
That's what I was gonna say.
That's what you had too? Anybody else have a different one? Okay. What about the next? Yep. And it says it. There's an example right underneath that. Elijah, can you read that sentence that starts?
The soldier who was upset lost his cloak.
There you go. So it can be reversed, right? It can be either who lost his cloak was upset or who was upset lost his cloak. Exactly. So you can do it either way. How about the next 2 sentences? Okay, Juliana, how can you combine those two?
The princess who tricked the soldiers hid the 3 gifts.
Yes. Is there another way we can do it too? Give me 5. That's good.
Oh, that's
You know me. Ainsley.
I know.
Oh, go ahead, Ainsley. Sorry, I called you first.
The princess which tricked the soldiers hid the 3 gifts.
Instead of which, try it again with who, and then I'm gonna have you go next.
She just said who.
She did. So we don't want to switch it to which, but Elijah, what's your idea?
The princess who tricked the soldiers that hid the frigates.
That's what she said too, right?
Oh.
What's another way?
I
Remember,
know the princess who hid the frigates tricked the soldiers.
there you go. Either way, you guys knew it. I know your brains were like thinking so hard. Okay, let's now jump over to page 103.
Oh, I know quotation.
That
marks.
technically is today's lesson.
Quotation marks are
103.
easy.
It says review.
We're reviewing again, which is kind of nice because you guys already know about quotation marks. When do we use quotation marks?
When somebody's
Where we
talking.
actually
When
are.
someone's talking. Do you remember that word attribution?
No.
Wait. Yes, but no.
Yes, but no.
No.
What is
I know the word, but
attribution?
I don't know what it means.
What is attribution? Do you remember, Elijah?
Oh,
So if I
I think I know, I
say,
think I know.
who will help me make the bread? The hen clucked. What part of that is the attribution? Yes, give me a five. That's telling us who's saying it and how they're saying it, right? That's the attribution. So look at the example here. It says, quote, I want the gold. Yes. And then attribution, the princess declared. So the attribution is who's speaking and how they're speaking. It's like the speaking verb, right? She declared. So that's her speaking verb.
Yeah, the basic attribution is basically what they did.
Or how they said it. Yep, they declared, or like the hen did what? The hen,
And what they said, like the quote. The hen, who helped me make the bread?
the hen clucked, I think I said, right? So that was how she said it, because she's hen, so. And so that would be the attribution. And there's some punctuation rules, right? So I mean, by punctuation, I mean like periods and commas and things like that.
Or like the dog wolfed, wolf. Like the
Yeah.
dog in the shadow.
Oh,
Of
yeah.
course.
From a story?
That was way back, huh? I don't think he talked though, did he?
No, he
Oh, did
barked
he?
at his shadow.
Oh, yeah.
And then
the
Man, that was a while ago.
That
Okay,
was it.
let's look at this one right here. It says attribution, comma, and then the quote. Do you see that there? So when you have the attribution first, you put a comma. And notice the period is inside the quotation marks. We're gonna
Yeah.
practice that too. And then the other way, you can have them say the quote first and then the attribution. And if you do it that way, you have a comma and then the word attribution. So these are the rules here, okay? Look at the next example. I'm right here on the page. Attribution, comma, and then it's a quote with a question mark. And then we've got it reversed, right? You see that on your page there? Quote with a question mark and then attribution. Notice how capitals and punctuation changes depending on where it is, what order it's in. And then the last example, attribution, comma, quote with an exclamation mark. And then reversed with the quote first and then the attribution. Anytime you start a sentence, what do you have to do with that first
Capital.
letter? Thank you, capital. So same with, if it's the quote first, then the quote has to have a capital always, right? But if it's the attribution first, that attribution has to have a capital. Anytime you have anything at the beginning.
It has to be a capital.
And then down here it says, think about it. I know I'm going kind of fast because we got to catch up with time today, but think about it. Now this says many words. I'm down here in the middle of the page. So look at that right under think about it as I read it. Many words can be used as different parts of speech. However, a word can perform only one part of speech at a time. For example, running can be either a verb, an adjective, or a noun.
It's a verb. Because it's an action.
When you first see the word running, I think of verb too. But check this out. Right here where it says verb, do you guys see? Put your finger on this word verb right here on your page. Yes. And let's have Elise, could you read that sentence for me, please?
Wait.
Right where your finger is, right here. Go down just a
Verb.
little bit right there.
The soldiers were running
okay.
through the forest.
Good, nice. So the soldiers were running. What were they doing?
Running.
They were running. That's telling the action, right? They were running. That's the verb. Good. So that's used as verb, but look at, now put your finger on that word adjective underneath that. Go down, right? Adjective. Yes. Yes. Okay. So Juliana, read that sentence.
The soldiers were running water.
Ooh.
Running water.
Is the water really running?
No, it's
No.
like moving.
It's moving,
it's-
but it's
it's-
telling what kind of water, right?
Right.
It's running water. It's not hot water. It's not cold water. It's running water. It means it's actually
like
on,
running.
Like not
right?
running like that. It's not running like
But it's not running like that. So it's not really a verb there. It's an adjective.
It's describing the water.
It's describing the water. So now we have the same word running, but it's used differently in that one. Now skip down a little bit and look where it says noun. Put your finger on that one.
The second soldier said, running is fun.
There you go. Good. I was going to ask you to read it. So that was good that you did. The second soldier said, running is fun. In that sentence, running is a thing. So it's a noun.
I don't like.
A noun is a person, place, thing, or idea. So that's a thing, right? Running is a thing. Even though it's an action and we're doing it, the way it's worded here is running is fun. So it's telling what it is. So that's an example of a word that's used different ways. So you have to really pay attention to that, especially in this book, because they're going to try to trick you with that. So let's turn to 105. And Ainsley, would you please read our, are they? Like brand new, never been touched before.
Why is there plain pages every first lesson?
Yeah, that's just the way this book is set up. I think just to keep the pages
And
neat, I
fancy.
guess, and fancy. Yeah, I think you're right.
You only have like a page.
I do. Go ahead, Ainsley.
You have a marker.
Very observant.
He was hungry so much. He was hungry, so he munched on several apples.
Oh, good. I like how you started over and then you were like, okay, let me get this. And then you got it right. Good job.
He was
Munched. Oh, what is munched? What is munched?
like 8.
Like eating, right? It's what you do when you're crunching an apple. Yeah.
Enjoying it.
Enjoying, but actually the process of chewing it, right? So let's put a check mark by vocabulary because we know what munched means, right? We've all munched on apples before. Now we're going to go down the list. So Juliana, help us find the noun in that. Yep,
Apples.
apples, plural. That's the noun. So what we're going to do is put N above that and then put a check mark by noun. Pronouns. Are you ready to try at least telling us where the pronouns are in there?
Several.
Not several. So think of like a word to use in place of a noun. So if you're talking about a person, you would use like he or
A noun
she.
takes place. A pronoun takes place of a noun.
Yes. Do you see any of those kinds of words in there? Like it
I
or
see
he
two.
or she? Don't tell her. See if she can
Found
help.
2 he's.
There you go. 2 he's. So let's put PR on top of those. So who are we talking about? I think, are we talking about Timmy still? No, not Timmy. The
is
soldier.
Timmy?
That's a different story. Sorry, a different class is reading a story about Timmy. But we're talking about the soldier and it's a boy. So we use the pronoun he to refer to him.
Wait, or you're like, is this Timmy or not? Who does it?
Who are we talking about? And then Ainsley, how about the adjectives? There's 2 adjectives in there. Describing nouns.
Several.
Good, several is 1. So ADJ on that.
Munched.
Not munched. That's an action.
It's really so funny.
Did you find it?
I think it was.
No,
No, I already got the preposition. Right.
no, because was is a linking verb, right? Not very many left to choose from.
So
No.
it's on no.
How does he feel? How does he feel? He's
munched.
describing how he's feeling. He's hungry.
Hungry.
That's good. There you go.
That ain't
Hungry.
describing it.
It's describing him. He's hungry, right?
I was literally
So-
first.
Thanks for holding me in though, because you gotta let everybody try. Now we have a coordinating
So.
So.
CC on top of so. Have you-
no, Courtney, so.
Elise, have you heard of fanboys? Have you guys talked about that one before? Fanboys? Okay, so right under this, just so you can make a note of it. Put FA, like right here.
Under the coordinating and construction.
Fanboys, like that.
Under
FAN,
hungry.
just in that blank spot underneath the sentence somewhere. All right, and I bet everybody in this class knows what these words stand for, right?
Yeah.
F
Except for them.
stands for,
Not everybody in this class.
maybe not,
They don't know.
for.
Or.
A stands for
And.
and, N, nor, but,
What?
or,
Yet, so.
yet,
So.
Wait,
so,
come on.
for, and. So let's say it together, ready, go. For, and, nor, but, or, yet, so. One more time. For, and, nor, but, or, yet, so. Those are all of the coordinating conjunctions that we have in English.
I know what the prepositional phrase is.
Okay,
Yeah.
so what we're looking for is one of those words, and he knew it was so. So is here for the S. So if you can memorize fanboys and you can memorize those words, that'll help you find them so fast. Okay, prepositional phrase. I'm gonna give it to Elijah. Where is it?
He gets several apples.
On several apples. Is that what you girls were gonna say too? Okay. I knew you had it. How about back to Juliana? Subject verb pairs. We start with verbs. We've already talked about them. Where are the verbs? Did you just say he?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a subject.
Don't you have? Oh, you're thinking subject. I asked you for a verb. You put a be there. That's not a verb. Remember action. Or-
Subject.
Or, okay, think before you just guess, okay? Remember the verb is either linking or
I did
action or
everything. Don't we usually
helping.
do our prepositional?
Munched,
Don't we usually use or do our prepositional phrases?
Wait, munch is.
last, yes, but he knew what it
I know what
was,
the
so
next
I
one
let
is.
him.
Wait, is munched V or?
V, yeah,
I
yeah,
like that.
because it's an action, right? So
Yeah.
there's also a linking verb
So it's
here,
an action word.
This is
action
the-
verb.
don't
I know,
think-
I heard you, hang on a second. So where is the linking verb?
Was.
There you go. Now the subject, you know where the subject is, Elise?
Oh,
That's okay.
It's Ash.
He and,
It's right there, right after March, before March. On.
I know, it's hard to hold it in.
It's the same.
Actually, it's he again, remember? So the subject is who is doing the, who was hungry and who munched, okay. Now, Ainsley capital, where's the capital gonna go?
The first.
He, the first he, so we do 3 little lines for that. And then Elijah, everybody, period, okay.
At the end.
Yes, well, it's not really a story, but it's an article. You guys got all that?
I mean, like our story from our binders that we wrote.
Oh, we're not gonna have time today. I'm so sorry. Okay, so we're done with that. I'm gonna turn the heater off. real
And then
quick.
what's next?
Burn the next.
We need to know what. What?
I was cold, but not anymore. Okay, so that's what we usually do in class for grammar. So when you get home later, you can rewrite it down at the bottom with all the corrections that you put on there. And then the next 3 pages are your homework assignment for this week. So 106, 107, and 108. And I'll share that link with you guys, and then you can see it on Google Classroom too. So go ahead and close up your grammar books. And you can put them on the table behind you or on the floor next to you, just out of the way of the table somewhere. Okay, and then let's get out our binders. And I know you guys want to share your stories. I read them all and made comments. I know we really don't have time. I'm so sorry. Maybe next week though, because we kind of got a late start today. So no, that's okay. No, it's okay. Sometimes we read them and sometimes we don't. So they'll be fine, huh, Juliana? She's like, no, let's put away week 10, which is your desert reptiles.
Oh my,
It's a lot. So what we do is
week 10,
keep
not
all the stuff we're working on during the week in the front pocket. And then when we're done with it, we stick it in finished
Then my
compositions.
LY adverb list.
Yes, and that can go behind your that here stylistic techniques tab.
You know I go with that.
So
Right
you're
here.
gonna put this, do you know where it goes? You're done with
Finished
it.
composition
There you
Right
go.
here, on the top of all.
I put it behind the yellow page.
Wait, why is that?
Yes, right
Wait,
there.
why is that there?
I don't know. Oh, this is old. You're gonna go past all that. Remember? We always stick it at the back side, right there.
How did you know?
I just use the
a
binder all the
picture.
time and I just flip through stuff so fast. You'll get there. But it's better to take it slow and easy because trust me, you forget to close those rings, you know what happens, right?
Happened to me again.
Yes.
Happened to me. And then I had to
Reorganize everything.
also like that much, and then it's like put it on the table and put it in order again.
So sometimes our
Not like
finished composition spot gets too full, so you can move that to a different
Here you go again.
binder. Ah, thank you. If
Oh.
you need to free up space in your reader, so then, oh, yeah, sure, so you- okay. Yeah,
So do we get out a new piece of paper?
you will need a piece of paper and you will need the next lesson, which is gonna be week 11. And,
This one ripped out. This is the
Can
one
you
that-
go down,
Oh.
Mrs. Sweet?
you know what, how about I just keep that one?
Here you go.
Oh,
I
thank
got
you.
another one for some reason.
Oh, thank you, that's okay.
Two.
Wait, what?
Oh, let's see. Put these in there.
Remember the top sentence in the bottom sentence thing?
Uh-huh.
I
You did good. You did good with that. I noticed that. The only
I'm
one,
like-
I think on one of them, you accidentally highlighted the. Is that a keyword? That's okay. It was an accident. I could tell because
No,
now you're gonna get out week 11. So let's see.
yeah,
Here's
the
the-
Mojave rabbit, Mojave something. No, the.
Oh,
raised
you guys have all
rabbit.
your stuff at the back of the binder. That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine. Here, let me help you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't mind helping to find it in here. So we're back here, but you guys have been working in the binder.
No,
We have, but she's the most behind, like, from, the other kids are like already on week, I don't know, they might even be ahead of where your class is.
I hope
The
that
other
this
two.
isn't too confusing because we've done a lot.
That's okay, yeah, and I
Okay.
told her that, and I said, well, we'll
Okay.
try this month, and if it feels too hard or you're too far behind, then we can always.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, it's totally fine.
Do it.
I don't want you to feel like.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, okay, okay. We are. I was having a hard time looking for it upside down here. Here we go.
Artica.
Antarctica comes out, yes. So
Oh,
go
I'm
ahead and
still
open your
putting my
readings. We're
feet
gonna
out.
take out week 11. And I'll tell you how many pages we're getting out. 1, 2, 3.
3.
3 pages from Antarctica.
Oh, I don't want it to be a monster.
3 pages. And then you do need 1 piece of lined paper.
Marco Polo was week 12.
But yeah, that one
What's
is
this?
actually. And then, yeah, that's week 12. So you'll leave that one in there. And then you need a line piece after you, yeah, make sure you close those rings. You guys know the drill there.
Do we need Marco Polo?
No, not yet. So let's put that one back. Think you accidentally,
Oh,
hold on a second. Let me
it's
make sure.
Excited.
That one goes back on top of that, and then you got, the rest of them are good. Organizing the binder is part of the skill that we learn in the class, so
Right.
it's.
And my other
Definitely.
two already have everything down, but this is
Awesome.
her first year, they did it last
That's
year.
okay,
and-
yeah.
So,
and
and
then
have
one
you
more.
heard of Shirley Grammar? Are you familiar with Shirley Grammar?
Yes.
Well, okay, so that's kind of what we used prior to this.
Okay.
And so,
That's good. Yeah,
yeah, no, it's great.
I like it.
It's
Okay.
Definitely different. Not a lot of writing skill, I feel like it's a lot of grammar heavy.
Oh, yeah. Here you go, sweetie. I got it. Yeah. This is good because this will get heavy in the writing.
No, yeah, I love that, I love that.
Okay,
I forgot my
now
paper.
on your lined paper, let's start with that. Yeah,
I
don't,
said I forgot.
you got time. It's okay. I'm gonna just start. I always like to draw my fake paper up here. Right? So we know where things go.
You
So
gotta
up
draw extra
here,
because last time you went out of the paper.
I know. Sometimes I do. Your name is gonna go on the upper left-hand corner, so go ahead and put your first and last name there. And then we do dates with numbers. Today is February 24th, and it's kind of easy to write it like that, so that's what we do. And I'm gonna stand over here so I'm out of the way.
No, same things for everybody.
Super
Okay.
idea. Let's see if you got the right dates.
Do I have the right ones? Okay, good. I need you to check me because sometimes I'm off. Okay, so you guys remember, we're still in, this is unit 4, so go ahead and skip a line here. And we're gonna write unit 4, and we're just gonna review this really quick, but it's called summarizing a reference. Yeah, so we skip lines. I don't know when you write, at least do you usually skip lines when you do your stories? Okay, good. Your mom's saying yes behind you. She's like, yeah, I am. This is basically our keyword outline page, so we're not going to skip every line for this, but when you go to write your story, then I do like every line skipped. And we've talked about this before, so this is a review, but I just want to make sure you guys remember, just underline SUM for summarizing. What does that remind you of? SUM, sum?
Some for math.
For math?
Yeah.
Is that what we're talking about though?
No,
Like some.
What word is that? How do you spell that one?
SOME.
SOME. What does that mean?
Some of it.
What does that mean? If you want some cake, do you want all the cake?
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
no.
Does your mom want you to have all of the cake?
No.
No, what is she gonna give you?
Some-
piece.
A piece, there you go. So some of the cake. So just underneath this, just to remind you, is SOME, not all of it. So we're gonna look at, remember a reference. Do you guys remember what reference means?
Yes, wait.
It's
Like
right
a
there.
reference, like a reference to. I don't know.
Like,
I give up.
like an article, right? Like
Yeah.
you guys learned about desert reptiles
Yeah.
and you read an article, that was called a reference,
Oh.
right?
And the Gobi Desert.
And the Gobi Desert and the camels, remember
And
back
the
when you did
Sahara.
that? Yes, okay. So this is like where you're getting your information
Gobi
as a
Desert.
reference. So you're telling some of the information in the reference. So we're gonna learn, go ahead and skip a line, and somewhere in the middle, I want you to put Antarctica. That's what we're studying today. There you go, you got it, Elise, that's
Coming
good.
on Friday after my grandma's surgery.
Ooh, that sounds fun.
Watched the Super Bowl last night.
So did I.
Me too.
Uh-uh.
My dad went crazy. He loves the Chiefs.
We were rooting for the Chiefs, so
didn't
sorry
want
49ers fans, if there are any in here, but
Wait, which
yeah.
team were you
Chiefs,
on?
and they won.
They won a 25.
But my team is the Packers, so I was, not all
Wait,
into
was
it,
it the
but
Canada one that you were on the team on?
Packers, the
My-
Green Bay
One of
Packers.
my friends are on the Green Bay Packers.
Oh,
And his dad is a football coach.
oh, wow, that's
So
pretty
team.
cool.
You know what team? No, has a picture of an Indian, I think.
I
We're
went to the
we're
Okie
gonna
Country
set
Club.
up our keyword outline here. We're not gonna actually put words on here yet, but we're gonna set it up. So what I want you to do is skip a line under Antarctica, and over on the side, we're gonna put Roman numeral 1. And then you're gonna write 1 through 5 like this, go in a little bit. Remember how we do this? Has
And
Elise?
those ones won't be skipped lines, right?
Right, these are not skipped. Yes, thanks for pointing that out. You're right. These are together. Then we're gonna skip after the 5. So I'll put a little X here. We're skipping after
Roman
the 5.
numeral 2.
Yep, you guys know. Uh-huh.
I
Hold on, I'm not lining them up very well here.
can't talk anymore.
So we do this, this is common for
Mhm.
us, so. And then Liana's gonna be mad at me, but I ran out of space. Oh, no, I didn't. I made it. All right.
Yeah, at the end.
So I like to skip lines between the Roman numerals. Does that make sense, Elise? So I just put, these are all together, one line after another, and then skip after the 5. So how many paragraphs are we gonna write about Antarctica? 3. Each
It's gonna
Roman
take
numeral
weeks
represents a
again.
paragraph.
is this gonna take like 2 weeks again?
Yeah, it will. We're gonna divide it up into 2 weeks, yeah.
Yeah.
So now let's look at our article called Antarctica. As soon as you guys got that written down, I'll give you a minute to finish that.
Story about myself.
You can, but then we want to talk about it. So that's why we're gonna read it. And plus, you remember what you're gonna do while I'm reading
Why
though,
do you have
right?
small
Oh,
X's on Roman numeral two?
Just to help Elise know that we're skipping lines right there.
Oh,
Don't
Yeah.
forget the line. Why are there 4 E's in Lathan?
You want an X right here?
yeah, so it looks.
Does that help you feel better? Okay, good.
So they all get cookies and X's.
They got, okay, good. Everybody's happy. That's what matters.
So it's fair.
What was your question, Elijah?
Reference has 4 E's.
Oh, wow. Yeah, it sure does. Reference, man. Never relied on that. Okay, so Antarctica. Now, what we're gonna do with this is underline, what are we underlining?
The things that are important and interesting.
Very
Yeah.
good, important and interesting. So
Like
what we're
animals.
doing is we're finding facts about Antarctica. But this paper has maybe like, it's two-sided. Look how much information is on here.
Yeah, we got.
I wouldn't say 200, but maybe like 15 or 20.
More than 15.
And we don't need that many. So what we're gonna do is as we're reading, you're gonna use your pencil and anything that you think is interesting or important, you're just gonna underline it. And then we're gonna use those keywords and start filling in our keyword
There are, like,
outline.
70 animals
My
that live in
dad went
Antarctica.
to Alaska once that he was driving back home and he went by the North Pole and all the street lights looked like candy canes. He took pictures.
Oh my gosh, how cool is that? I bet it's really neat there. So here's what's different about this, because you remember when you guys did desert reptiles, you guys had an article all about the Sahara sand viper. And then you had one all about Mojave rattlesnake, and then you had
Then
one that
this-
was Gray's monitor, right? They were all separate. But guess what? Now all of the topics are mixed in here. So what we're gonna do is called annotate. Have you ever heard that word annotate before?
What?
I'm just gonna write it right here. You don't have to write it down. I just want you to see what it looks like.
Oh, you said write it down. It's good. You should get it.
Did I spell that right? Does it have 2 N's? Now I'm not sure. Okay,
Oh, it's right.
okay, thank you. Because sometimes my spelling, I need you guys. So let me know if I misspell anything. Annotate means to take notes, right, on your paper, which you really do when you're underlining. That's like taking notes because you're pointing out, you're highlighting things. But the other thing we're gonna do with this is put a word in the margin. That's on the outside of the paragraph, right? Like over here or over here, actually. In the margin, we're gonna put a note that reminds us what that paragraph is about.
Antarctica.
You're right, but what about Antarctica?
I don't
Because we're gonna learn information, yes. So I'll show you what I mean. So go ahead and get your article out.
Penguins there. I like penguins,
They're so cute.
especially baby ones. They're all fluffy.
Mhm.
Okay, you can pause on that for a second, and I want you to focus on this and use your pencil and underline what stands out to you. Something interesting or
Are we talking about
important.
the North Pole or the South Pole?
Well, we're gonna find out. This is Antarctica here.
It's the South Pole.
By the way, Antarctica, you just saw it on the map, didn't you? And that's south, right? Down is
Wow,
south,
yes.
north.
You
So
know,
this
there are no
white
penguins in Antarctica.
continent down here,
I don't think there are penguins. They're polar bears.
we're gonna find out. So I'm gonna start reading. You guys get your pencils ready, okay? And look at your article.
How come it doesn't show?
Antarctica is a continent of extreme cold, twice as big as Australia. It is the 5th largest of the Earth's
Did you
continents.
realize that has a quotation mark like we're just talking about in grammar?
Where do you see that?
Australia.
I already got this.
Did you know this?
Oh, that's a comma,
Oh,
actually.
government.
That's okay. That's what I thought you meant. Okay. And some of you, I heard you underlining maybe extreme cold and words like 5th largest,
Twice
of
as
the-
big.
twice as big as Australia. So you don't have to underline all of that, but if you see something that's like, oh, I didn't know that, that's interesting. By the way, here's Australia. That's Australia. It says it's
We can
twice
see-
as big.
We can see the.
I
world.
almost think it's more than twice
3
as big, right?
times.
Yeah, it's really big, huh?
looks like
Can you see
7
from over there,
times.
kinda?
Yeah, I can see.
Okay, good.
Do you think?
I'm gonna keep going. Get your pencil ready. Antarctica is almost completely covered by snow and ice. However, it is actually a desert with less than 4 inches of rain or snow each year. Get your pencil ready.
Then why is it so?
Okay. It is, in fact, the largest desert in the world.
Whoa.
We thought the Sahara was, huh?
I know. It did say that also. It sounded like it's one of the lowest.
Now this one is, okay. Atop the land, snow has piled up over centuries. Do you guys know how many years centuries is?
Is it
A
like
lot.
100? 100.
More
It's
than 100 because it's
200.
1 century is 100,
1 second to 100.
but centuries,
That's probably like 5
hundreds,
Isn't it like decades, centuries?
decades are tens, yeah.
Decades
Yeah.
are 10 years, centuries are 100 years, and years are 1 year.
Okay, forming thick ice sheets, huge glaciers, and towering icebergs. In many places, the continent is covered with ice over a mile thick. And it has that note there, 1.6 kilometers. We don't use that measurement in the United States, so we'll stick with mile on that, okay? Over a mile thick, that's a lot, that's a lot. It's hard to imagine a mile this direction.
A mile up of snow.
Do you know how much 1 foot is?
Yes.
It's like
that
12 feet.
It's like
It's
1
like-
foot, 1 foot is like a
12
ruler,
inches.
right?
12
Yes,
inches.
good, 12 inches. Okay, let's ask Siri. How many feet are in a mile?
The answer is 5,280 feet.
Okay, 5,280
Feet up.
rulers
So
stacked on
snow?
top of each other, 5,280 rulers
What?
of snow and ice.
I'm gonna
How
say
We're like excited when we get a foot of snow, right?
But if you have like bigger. You could make
Like,
a
I'm
tunnel
gonna
in the
sink.
ground.
Oh my goodness.
That would be
I
so
don't think you
fun.
could find the ground. It's so far down under the ice and under the snow. Okay, let's keep going.
Has anybody helped you walk on that? You would probably like die.
I think it's
or-
hard though. It's like ice, so I don't think you would sink down a mile. That wouldn't work, huh?
But it would
That'd
be
be
cool if you
cool.
could make like a little tunnel that goes all the way down.
That would be super
If you
cool.
like it-
Okay, we're gonna keep going. Scientists estimate that over 90% of all the ice on Earth is found in Antarctica.
Wow, that's what I don't get.
Due to warmer air and ocean temperatures, some scientists are concerned that Antarctica's snow and ice might melt if all the ice in Antarctica were to melt, the sea levels would rise around 200 feet. So you know how it is, like even here on the Glover's property, when the snow's melting, you see that little river that you guys drove past? It's because the snow's melting, it's turning into water, right?
because
Can you imagine all that mile thick snow melting and going into the sea?
frozen water.
It is frozen water.
All the lands would get, would get like, you would have to find a really tall mountain.
If you were
Like everyone.
Okay, hold on, hold the comments just for a second, okay? Look right here in the margin. This is called the margin between the paragraph and the edge of the page. I want you to write the word ice. Do you know how to spell ice?
Yes. I see.
I-C-E.
I-C-E, so write with your pencil right here, I-C-E,
I-C-E.
somewhere next to that paragraph. Oops. Whoa, there's a little table earthquake there. Calm down. Ice.
Like that?
Yep, and I see you guys wrote it that way. That's okay if you write it that way, and it's okay for you to go, where's my marker? Here it is.
You're walking around it.
If you write it like this, next to it, that's okay too.
You
You
went-
can like the
you
paragraphs
wrote
here,
You would.
okay? You can write it that direction too.
You went off the paper.
It's a side note. Calm down, it's okay. So that's annotating, right? We wrote the word ice. It's okay if you wrote it this way. Some of you wrote
On the table.
it, some of you wrote it this way. That's okay with me. As
That's what I
long as-
did the
Yeah,
first time
that's
and I
okay.
erased
So
it.
the next word, we'll put it regular, right? Like this. But ice, so that paragraph was all about ice pretty much, right? It does talk about how big it is and all that, but the main thing is ice. Now let's look at the next paragraph. It starts with the coldest. Do you guys see that down there?
Yeah.
We're gonna start there. I see you guys
Wait, I don't.
underlining
I don't.
right here.
Yeah.
You're doing a great job underlining. I see that. You guys are picking out things that are important and interesting. So we're gonna start right here. Oh, you're still doing it. Okay. Right there. the coldest temperature ever recorded on Earth
Oh.
was taken there in 1983 near the South Pole. Negative 126 degrees Fahrenheit.
That's hot.
You would think that's hot, but look at that little dash next to it. That means,
Freezing cold.
that means under zero. You know how sometimes it gets down to maybe like 28 degrees here, you know? Do you guys know about negative numbers yet?
Yes, I do.
So when you're, so like in the summer, you know, it's
Oh, yeah, I
like,
know
sometimes it
negative.
can get up to like 90 degrees, okay? And then it goes down 80, 70,
Yeah, I know
60,
that.
50, 40, 30 in the winter time. But guess what? It keeps going down 20, 10, and then you can get to zero. We don't get that cold here at zero. But then it goes
In
under
Celsius,
zero.
In Celsius,
Hold
yeah.
on. Under zero, negative 10, negative 20, negative 30, negative 40, negative 50.
That is freezing.
So now think of
Below freezing.
negative 126. We're talking like, I can't even reach down that far, right? With my hands to tell you, because I'm frozen. That's true too. So super cold,
They should
basically.
have these,
We're gonna keep going.
really sweaty, jacket things.
When blizzards occur, they usually do not bring new snowfall. They are caused by powerful winds, over 100 miles per hour at times.
We even see a water park.
Okay, let's just read right now, okay? That blast old snow off mountain peaks. Winter and summer at the poles are both 6 months long. There is no spring or fall.
What? There's only winter or summer?
Winter and summer, that's it.
So it skips those two.
What is that paragraph mostly talking about, would you say?
Antarctica.
Well, we already talked about ice up here.
Cold. You're gonna
It's
die.
talking,
And the
what do you call that
temperature.
when you watch the news and you listen for a report about, like, is it sunny? Is it cloudy? Is it raining? Is it snowing?
We're gonna have snow for the next.
It's called
years. I wish.
weather.
Weather channel.
They weren't listening. Weather channel, close enough, weather, right? When we talk about the weather, we're talking about how hot it is or how cold it is, or if it's raining, right? What's
This
the
is
weather
it.
gonna be like today? Well, today is
Cold.
sunny,
It's sunny.
a little bit cold.
A
Mhm.
cloudy sun. That one.
So I want you to write the word,
Like
this is the next paragraph at the bottom, right here. See where it says it starts with the coldest. So down here toward the bottom of your page, I want you to write weather. You have to squeeze it in because I know there's not a lot of room there.
Weather on the. side.
Weather, down here by where the holes are. Next to that bottom paragraph, we're annotating, right? Like how you put ice here, you're gonna put weather down there.
What was that A that I just?
Okay, we're running out of time. I'm gonna have to readjust the homework, but we'll talk about that in a second. When you get done writing weather, go ahead and turn it over to the back side. We have 2 more paragraphs to go over. Okay, actually, let me rethink this. How about we save the back for next week,
Yes.
okay? Let's do that. So here's what I want you to do next. Go to your keyword outline now, get that back out. This is where we set up our numbers, right?
Yes.
The article is called what? What place are we talking about here?
Antarctica.
Next to Roman numeral 1,
Anti-
you're gonna write the subject. The subject is Antarctica. Oops, if I can spell it right.
It's on top of you.
I know, I
It's
should
on
be
top.
able, I was talking and sometimes I have to stop talking there. Antarctica. What was our first paragraph about? What word did we put in the margin of the first paragraph? You guys remember?
Ice.
Ice.
I keep dropping that.
It's snow.
And then that's gonna be our topic. We're gonna write it all just about the ice part of Antarctica, okay? We're gonna focus on that. So what's another word we could put here? Because you know, we can have 3.
Snow.
We could put snow.
But that's the same as
Is it a little bit of ice on Antarctica?
No.
Lots.
Lots. Would you
Wind?
say it's safe to say it's covered with
Yeah.
ice? I think so too.
Covered.
Let's put covered here. Okay, so we're talking about Antarctica. That's our subject. our topic for this paragraph is ice. And we're adding one more word that tells a little bit more about ice, and it's basically covering Antarctica, right? Yes,
There are like 70 animals that live in Antarctica.
I believe it, but it's crazy, isn't it?
Snowfall? It's freezing there.
All right, so now look at what you underlined on that first paragraph. Somebody tell me something about ice that you underlined. You look at that,
Wait, what did
the first paragraph.
I'm getting cold just thinking about it.
Not funny how that happens. The first paragraph under Antarctica where you put ice, look at only that paragraph and tell me something you underlined. You can just look and volunteer to tell me.
4
Something.
inches of rain or snow.
4 inches of rain or snow, that has to do with ice.
Extreme cold.
Extreme cold, oh, I like that too.
Let's put extreme cold.
Let's do that. Let's put next to number 1, extreme. I like that too.
Is it with the
And cold.
I know 90% of the ice is found of the air ice is found in Antarctica.
Okay, I like that. Hold on to that. We'll come back to that. But I heard somebody else say less than 4 inches.
I said more, I think it was desert, less than 4 inches of rain or snow each year.
Do you remember the symbol for less than in math? You guys know that one? It's like an alligator mouth, remember?
Oh, yeah, I think,
Yeah.
I think.
Do you remember that one?
So.
You know that one?
Is that a math thing?
It looks like
Yeah.
The
this
greater
way,
number?
or yes.
Those
It's-
are the great.
I remember
ones.
that.
Yes, so which one's the lesser than? Is it the first one? or
The
the
left
second?
one is the left. Is the left one.
Yeah, is the left
For-
one?
Yes.
Or- Oh, you mean it's
First.
pointing left? Is that what you mean?
I
Like,
think
is it the top one or the bottom
the
one?
bottom one is more because
Yes,
Yeah.
it goes higher because it,
this one is less. So
Because
we
it's
can use
pointing
that
down.
symbol. It's like
We got mixed up there
sideways.
for a second.
That's
Like,
all right.
wait.
Less
the greater
than
and less signs.
4. What did it say? Less than 4 what?
Inches. of
Inches.
snow
We're
or
gonna
rain.
put IN. Let's put it,
No.
let's actually write inches, actually change my mind on that, because we do have room for one more word. So extreme cold, less than 4 inches, and then we can draw a snowflake. Those are pretty easy like that.
Oh, I didn't know how to spell.
That way we've got a couple facts here next to number 1, extreme cold, less than 4 inches of snow, but you would think it would get a lot more than that, right? Like we usually get a foot of snow, well, where I'm at in Alpine on the hill up there, we usually get maybe 12
Last
inches
year-
of snow.
We
Whoa.
got so
Or more.
much, last year we got so much snow that made a piles and we also started making igloos.
4 inches is only about that big. Maybe a little taller than that, like that.
My friend.
It seems like you would have more in Antarctica, right? But
Yeah.
why is there a mile of ice there? Remember, that's what it said, a
Because
mile.
it's so cold.
Does it melt very
No.
often? No, it doesn't. So it just every year or every, it just 4 inches, 4 inches, 4 inches, 4 inches, 4 inches, 4 inches, until you make a mile.
Tongue twister.
That would take a while, right? A tongue twister, yes. What else is something that you underlined about ice? What else do you have? Oh yeah, you were gonna give me
I
one.
got it. 90% of Earth's ice is found in Antarctica.
90%. Oh, good. You got that one too? Okay, so 90%. Let's put 90. We
Wait,
don't have to
where's
count
that?
that.
I think it should be 90% ice.
Wait, where is that?
90% of what though?
Ice.
It is the second to the last sentence in that first paragraph. On 90% of all ice on Earth is found in Antarctica.
I don't think I have that. Wait, what? I don't see.
Icy.
Ice, and then what, Elijah? On
Very, very.
90% of all ice on,
Earth
there we go.
and Antarctica.
There we go. So what we're doing, at least you probably know this, but I'll just tell you really quick. After I write, we are putting keywords from those facts that we're finding in the article. So the rule is you can use, what are some free things we get to use on our keyword outline? You guys remember the free stuff?
Keyword outlines.
Yeah, in the keyword outlines, we get to use like numbers are free, right? Symbols are free. and abbreviations are free, so we don't have to count those. So like here, we didn't have to count that as a word, or the number 4 as a word, or the snowflake. We didn't have to count that, but you can only have 3 words. So we have extreme cold and inches, bless you. Yes.
You forgot to put KWO on.
Oh, I did. What if we put it right next to,
I caught you again.
yes, thank you. KWO stands for keyword outline.
Oh, I'm so glad I had this.
We can put it right next to the word Antarctica at the top there. Okay, what else? We're out of time, so we gotta be a little quick. What else do we want to put on our outline? What other fact about ice did you underline?
Over a mile to kilometers.
Yes,
Kilometers?
a mile thick. We're just gonna ignore kilometers, but you're right. That is what that is.
My mom grew up with kilometers because she was in Mexico.
Let's
She doesn't
put
know.
over and then the number 1 mile thick. That's our 3 words right there.
Okay.
Did anybody underline how it's piled up over the centuries? Did you guys get that? Because that was kind of interesting.
What?
How it's piled up over centuries.
Where?
The snow has piled up over centuries,
No, I don't see.
forming huge, thick ice sheets, huge glaciers, and towering icebergs. I think we could add that there because we're talking about ice, right? Okay, that's okay.
So far.
So I'm thinking. Let's put a snowflake again, piled. Centuries.
You wrote in 13 E's so far.
What did I do?
You wrote in 13 E's.
What?
You wrote in 13 E's.
Efforties?
13 E's.
Oh, you're counting my E's? Oh, okay, thank you.
So much.
So many E's. Okay, piled up over centuries. I can't think of another word to go there, but I do want to add for number
Oh, I got
5.
one.
Oh, you got one?
Piled centuries,
Old.
years.
Or high.
Old.
Or high or old? Okay, how about you guys pick the word you want to put next to that? Years. You could explain how that's hundreds of years, right?
Can I put 100 years?
You could, or more than 100 years, because
Centuries.
it's plural. And then we've got the words glaciers and icebergs, sheets, glaciers, and icebergs. That's pretty cool.
My file looks like an S.
Let's put those words. And then we're gonna stop there. And you guys are
How do you
going
write so
to,
quick?
I know, it's okay, I'll give you a second. I had to speed up because we ran out of time. And go ahead and keep writing while I talk. You keep writing too, Elijah, okay? So you are going to use your checklist and you're going to write just 1 paragraph using these keywords. Remember, you can go back and look if you need help remembering what they mean, okay? But you're going to use your own words, and guess what? On the checklist, you've got your dress up words. You know what those are, like, Elise? Your dress up words? Not yet. You'll find out. On here,
The ones with ended with ED.
on here, these dress up words, ly, who, which, strong verb, and because clause. You gotta have 1 of each of those in your paragraph. So that's the tricky
Wait,
part.
is this one paragraph?
1 paragraph. We're gonna do these 2 next week.
One and E? Oh.
Yep,
that's
so you're just gonna use your keyword outline to write 1 paragraph, but you have to follow your checklist. Because the other thing on there is the topic clenchers. So
And one at the
um,
bottom.
there's a rule in there. If you need me to explain that to her later, I can do that, but any questions about what you guys are gonna write this week? This all is gonna go in your front pocket, so you know where to find it when you're ready to do your homework, right?
I think I have to turn into the classroom this week.
Yeah, so
Okay.
I'll make a note to myself to make sure to give you that link.
Thank you.
And then it's usually due the night before by 5, so Sunday night by 5, so whenever she gets it done between now and then.
Wait, is this mine or yours? Cause last time.
Oh, don't take mine.
Last time I accidentally.
I know, that's mine. Thank you, I'm glad you asked.
I'm like, is this mine or yours?
Where's my, oh, here. Okay, I'm gonna stop recording. Oh, let me move this up here. Oops, oops, hold on. She's like, everything's spinning. There you go, so you can read that better. Deposit right there. Okay.
Bye, Rebecca.